Dzień dobry. Dzisiaj dla odmiany powinno być mnie słychać już od samego początku, ponieważ sprawdziłem przed wejściem na wizję, czy mam odpowiednie źródło na mikrofonie. Więc hej, tak, witam wszystkich w ten piękny niedzielny wieczór. Wiem, że zapowiadałem tydzień temu, a może i wcześniej, że streamy przygodówkowe przyniosą się na godzinę 16 i tak miało być. Tyle, że zapomniałem, robiąc rozpiskę, zmienić z 18 na 16, a miało się to zadziać już od pierwszego streamu listopadowego. Ale niech ten dzisiejszy dzień będzie ostatecznym testem. W 4:30 było już ciemno za oknem, a pamiętacie, że to głównie właśnie światło i jasność za oknem determinuje, o której godzinie najwygodniej jest mi streamować. Więc w przyszłym tygodniu tak już spodziewajcie się streamu przygotówkowego o godzinie 16. Ta 16 to na stałe, nie na stałe, tylko na okres zimowy. W okresie jesienno-zimowym przeskakujemy na 16. Latem o 16 nie mogę, bo mam słońce prosto w twarz, co oznacza, że jestem blady jak ściana, green screen nie łapie albo łapie artefakty w postaci gadrejów. Ogólnie ciężko streamuje się, kiedy świeci ci słońce prosto w twarz. Stąd też często czapki na streamie w tej porze letniej. Ale nie o tym dzisiaj. Wracamy do zaginionych spraw Sherlocka Holmesa. Przypominam, gramy w Case of the Rose Tattoo. Jedną z 2 gier wyprodukowanych przez jedną i tą samą firmę. O przygodach Sherlocka Holmesa. Chwilę opowiadałem o samej serii i dlaczego zaczynamy od drugiej, a nie od pierwszej tydzień temu, więc jeżeli tego nie słyszeliście, nie będę się powtarzał, zapraszam do obejrzenia filmu, który jest na YouTubie. Przypomnę tylko, że w poprzednim odcinku pograliśmy chwilę doktorem Watsonem, ponieważ Sherlock doświadczał jesiennej handry. Nie mógł sobie znaleźć nowej sprawy, każdą inną, która była mu podsuwana, nie był zainteresowany, ale tak się zadziało, że jego brat Minecraft padł ofiarą zamachu. W sensie na początku podejrzewano, że to wybuch gazu w klubie dla dżentelmenów. Nie takim klubie dla dżentelmenów, o jakim myślicie, tylko takim, w którym pali się cygara i pije brandy. ale krótka wizyta Sherlocka na miejscu wskazała, że to równie dobrze mógł być zamach, bo pożar rozprzestrzeniał się w sposób podejrzany, niekoniecznie tam, gdzie biegły linie, czy też linie z gazem, który miał być przyczyną wybuchu. No i znaleźliśmy też elementy, które sugerowały, że w grę mogła wchodzić jakaś bomba. Brat Minecraft jest w szpitalu, przeżył ten wybuch, ale nie ma z nim żadnego kontaktu. W każdym razie Sherlock jest już na tropie i tutaj w tym momencie wracamy po oględzinach wspomnianego klubu jeszcze raz do szpitala z nadzieją, że nasz brat teraz będzie chciał z nami porozmawiać albo będzie w stanie z nami porozmawiać. Teraz ja muszę sobie przypomnieć, jak się w to grało. Dobra, tak chodzi wolno, a tak chodzi szybko. Dobra, musimy się przełączyć w ten tryb szybszy, żeby nie czekać pół dnia, aż Sherlock przejdzie z lewej na prawą. Fajnie, że widzisz grę. A, wy nie widzicie gry. No to ja wam też pokażę grę. Co wy na to? No to teraz już widzicie grę i widzicie. No, mikrofon był przygotowany, gra nie była przygotowana. No. Mogę wrócić na poprzedni widok, tak? Dobra. Matrona to jest ta ulubiona matrona. Kaszle słyszę. Jak słyszysz kaszel, zaraz będziesz też widział kaszle.
Matron, I would like to see my brother Mycroft Holmes.
Your desire and hospital policy do not happen to coincide.
Hospital policy be damned, he's in a precarious condition.
Language, Mr. Holmes. Don't make me call the police.
Why this animus? Is it that incident with the bedpans? Do you still hold a grudge for that student prank?
Assume what you will. Your tenure here was mercifully brief. The medical profession lost nothing when you left us.
No need to be insulting, Matron.
As neither of you have any official standing here, please move along.
Dialogi wciąż rewelacyjne. Szkoda tylko, że dr Watson wypowiada swoje kwestie stojąc tyłem do pozostałych dwóch uczestników tej konwersacji. Ona wspomina, że nie pomoże nam, jeżeli nie będziemy mieli jeżeli nie wchodzimy tu w oficjalnej sprawie, a tak się składa, że chyba mamy jak on się nazywa, ten Lestrade? Nie, Lestrade to był wampir. Jak się nazywa ten? Lestrade, okej. Lestat to był wampir, okej, dobra, no to może ten też jest wampir. Ale zdobyliśmy od porucznika, czy tam komendanta, czy jak on się tam nazywał, pozwolenie, więc powinniśmy móc je zaprezentować.
You'll note I'm authorized to investigate matters relating to the Diogenes explosion.
It's nothing to me. The inspector has no standing among my charges, the quick or the dead. In any case, this is a solicitation for cooperation, not an order.
No i nie bądź taka.
A person in your position should not be guided by prejudice, Matron.
You've never thought much of my judgment or my authority, Mr. Holmes. Now, if there's nothing more, please leave.
Oh, but there's more.
I ask again, in a civil manner, for permission to see my brother. I am his only relation.
I cannot allow sympathy to shift my judgment. Mr. Holmes will not expire any time soon. There's no need to disturb him and transgress hospital regulations.
That tears it, Watson. It's war.
Okej. Czy ona jest...
A person in your position...
You've never...
Ona jest nieustępliwa. Watson? Pomożesz nam?
Is change forbidden at Bart's?
So it would seem. I feel transported back in time.
Indeed, to the Dark Ages or some similarly
Dzięki,
dismal and
Quarkus, za
repressive
wpłatę.
era.
No,
Dwie
no.
dychy wpłacił.
To my days as a staff surgeon.
Perhaps to the heyday of the Inquisition. A single glimpse of Matron the Merciless recalled a legion of disagreeable memories.
Fajny ten kaszel jest naprawdę poważny. Powinien trafić jak najszybciej na stół operacyjny. To nie jest coś, co można z syropem wyleczyć.
I'd like to throttle the desiccated old bat.
Render a valuable public service, but I doubt you would make the Queen's Honours List for your trouble.
How did you bypass this impediment?
Via the morgue. It's the only convenient way to enter and avoid a night in the Bow Street lockup.
To wszystko tak. Tak jest. Watson wcześniej przeszedł przez kostnicę.
I trust you have no objection if we visit the coroner.
You trust in vain. Dr. Watson has recently pestered him. I can't think of any reason why you should do the same.
Czyli ona już się tak. Znaczy Watson wykorzystał te wejścia na koronera. Okej. Jakieś jeszcze pomysły, Watson? Nie. Tego oglądaliśmy jako Watson, ale nie jako Sherlock. Okej, jeżeli nie umrze na chorobę, to na pewno z nudów, czekając na pomoc. Okej. Okej. Może ona coś nam powie o tych chorych. Gierekcja. Pierwsze, żeś miała dubbing tylko na 3DO. Tak było. Wspominałem o tym podczas pierwszej części streamu z tej gry. Próbowałem uruchomić pierwszą część na emulatorze, ale skonfigurować myszkę na emulatorze 3DO i tak sam cud, że to się odpaliło, ale poległem po kilku godzinach prób.
Watson, will this influenza become an epidemic?
I don't know, Holmes, but any viral disease poses a serious risk even to the healthy.
In that case, a hospital is no place to be. Let us stay no longer than absolutely necessary.
Okej, ale co nam to dało? O, jest opcja egzamin. Możemy go zbadać. Okej. Okej, może się uda ją przekonać, może wmówimy jej, że on jest bardziej chory niż faktycznie jest.
Excuse me, sir. What is your ailment?
Ładne słowo.
lungs. I'm weak.
Then why are you languishing in this drafty hall?
They're going to stitch up my head what I bashed when I fainted. So I got to take me chances. But if I get this new influenza, I'm for it.
Sir, how long have you been unattended in this wretched hall?
For bleeding ever, if you'll excuse the expression. No one tells me what's going on. I'm not furniture.
Dobra, może faktycznie Matronę złapiemy na to, że powinna się zająć tym pacjentem. Wtedy ona wyjdzie może?
Matron, why is this patient forced to languish in this pestiferous hall?
This hall is scrubbed daily. The patient and his insignificant ailments wait on the convenience of one of our most distinguished physicians.
By the time that worthy arrives, he may be able to add pneumonia or influenza to the man's symptoms.
Tend to your own knitting, Mr. Holmes. We will attend to ours.
No i co? Nic? Nie ten? Ona jest kurna nieugięta.
Have you conceived of a perfectly gruesome method for disposing of the brute?
Nothing so permanent, alas, but a diversion might serve us. She can't attend to her patients and her paperwork at once.
Watson, I'm grateful that mischief is part of your makeup. The invalid might assist us.
Prawdziwa pani Helenka szpitalnej recepcji. Tak. Paniom pracującym w recepcji dorównują tylko panie pracujące w dziekanacie.
Would you mind if I pushed your gurney to a warmer and more sanitary spot?
As long as I'm on it, I couldn't care less. Any change of scenery would be appreciated.
Okej. To się matrona wkurzy. Okej, dobra.
That patient must be retrieved. I won't forget this. You've earned trouble for yourselves.
O, już tam nie
Watson,
gadaj.
I think we should take this opportunity to explore the bowels of Bart.
I'm with you, Holmes. I wouldn't want to face her alone.
Cześć, panda. No okej, dobra, no i udało się. Zrobimy sobie save'a od razu. To jest jedna z tych lokalizacji, gdzie nie ma muzyki, jeżeli dobrze pamiętam. Okej. Tradycyjnie wszystko trzeba obejrzeć, żeby potem mieć materiał do rozmów. Sherlock nie ma broni, ale prosił, jak w poprzedniej części, nie wiem czy pamiętacie, jak wychodzili z tego swojego mieszkania / gabinetu, to prosił Watsona, żeby ten zabrał rewolwer ze sobą.
Dr. McCabe, might I have a moment of your valuable time?
Not so valuable that I can't afford to spend it as I choose.
Can you tell me how Sir Hubert Fortescue died?
You know better than to ask without authorization, Mr. Holmes.
Ten Hubert, o którym on mówi, chyba też był w tym klubie dla dżentelmenów. Dobra, ten też ewidentnie prosi o pozwolenie.
Thank you. It never gives me pleasure to deny or ignore your inquiries, Mr. Holmes, but things must be done properly.
Pełna zgoda.
Your findings on Sir Hubert, please, Doctor.
The official cause of death was asphyxiation. There is evidence of extensive brain trauma.
And the laceration on his head?
Occurred before death. It is not, however, the source of the brain injury.
Typically precise and pertinent, Doctor.
Flatterer. Now that you've had your way with me, you'll be off to the new ward just like Dr. Watson. You'll pass from my morgue like snow in April.
Perhaps. But we all must travel this way again. We are all yours in the end, Doctor.
Czy ja dobrze zrozumiałem? Rana na głowie powstała przed wybuchem, już nie była spowodowana tym wybuchem? Czyli ktoś mu wpieprzył, zanim bomba wybuchła?
How many cadavers do you process in a given day?
Too many. Please excuse me. I'm up to my elbows in work.
Not a terribly felicitous expression considering your vocation.
Perhaps, but accurate.
Morda
Your visit
modelarzu.
had a point, I suppose, besides to criticize my choice of words.
Excuse me, Doctor, I was rude. Might I see Sir Hubert's clothes?
Help yourself. You know where I keep them.
W szafce, tak, bo fajnie, bo on to może powiedzieć Sherlockowi, doskonale wiesz, gdzie trzymam rzeczy tych zmarłych, tak, co sugeruje, że oni często rozmawiają na ten temat, że się znają, są na ten, ale może tak powiedzieć, dlatego, że wcześniej jak graliśmy Watsonem, to sprawdziliśmy i teraz gra sobie może pozwolić na taką wymianę zdań między nimi. To sprytne.
Might I examine the body?
Yes, I'll try not to take your request as a criticism of my performance.
Laceration to było rozcięcie, jakaś rana nad lewym okiem. Co, zniknęło? Indication Anatomic Disease. Wkurza mnie to W. Jakie W cię wkurza? Ja nie widzę żadnego W. Dobra. O, można go powąchać. Płonące, palone włosy, dwutlenek węgla, okej. To wróćmy ciało. Blisters, okej, rany, w sensie co, drzazgi takie, tak? Okej. To wszystko? Okej, on już nic nie powie więcej. Watson, co ty sądzisz na ten temat?
Can the stench of carbolic be harmful to one's health, Watson?
You're overly sensitive, Holmes. A morgue must be disinfected regularly. I rather enjoy it.
Chacun son goût, as my French relations say. The rankest abattoir can be no worse.
Okej, sprawdźmy jeszcze te ciuchy w takim razie. Okej. Czyli są też Minecrafta ciuchy. Brata Minecrafta, tak. Czy jakieś skocz, czy spalona kurtka, ale znaczy coś osmolona, ale nie spalona. Okej, śmieszne. Nic więcej? Czyli jest na plecach jest spalona? Czy jakby uciekał od tego wybuchu?
What can you tell me about the burns on his back, Doctor?
Mostly first degree. His tweed coat is as heavy as a horse blanket.
Have your conclusions about the nature of the fire which killed him.
I suspect a flash fire. Very hot, oxygen devouring. But its heat was not sustained.
One that could burn convenient fuel, but move too fast to consume heavy furniture and, forgive me, flesh?
Precisely.
Okej. I co? To wszystko? Watson, co ty na ten temat uważasz?
The morgue and a dental office have much in common, Watson.
You mean that one ardently hopes to avoid visits to both?
Exactly.
Huh.
One feels fortunate to emerge and vows to repeat the experience only under duress.
Fajnie, że
This
mają
brings
taki
us a
banter
little
dodatkowy
further
nagrany,
along,
który nic
Watson.
nie wnosi.
Not for the first time,
Ale
Holmes.
jest
You
fajne.
have lost me. What do you mean?
The manner of Sir Hubert's death is a key.
My friend, perhaps you should rest. You're starting to ramble.
Forgive me. Sir Hubert's death confirms your discovery at the club. The explosion's the important thing.
Yes. Okej. To wszystko, tak? On mi już nic więcej nie powie. Nie. To zróbmy save'a i idźmy do brata Minecrafta. Save. To było w prawo, Archway. Patient Ward, ok. Czyli w tą stronę. Watson jakiś zainteresowany tym przypadkiem jest. Gentleman in white.
Are you awake, sir? Do you know your name? Sister, I strongly recommend that this patient's vital signs be taken. You may be surprised by the result.
Tea trolley. Nic ciekawego, Holmes? Medical chart w takim razie. Okej, czyli Luke to raczej opisuje, czemu służy taka karta medyczna, ale żeby ją poznać zawartość, to trzeba wybrać read, który nie zawsze się pojawia. O, recepta. Keys on a ring, black leather card case. Aha, nie recepta, a ten. No.
Now, Watson, the means to probe Mycroft's inner sanctum are in hand.
Jak tam brat Minecraft?
Hello, brother. You're keeping well, I hope?
Yes, elephant ears, too inquisitive by her. Imbecilic, treacherous louts. Those fools are playing at what? What? Oh, where are you? Sherlock!
Calm yourself, Mycroft. I'm right here. Tell me why you summoned us to the Diogenes.
No. It's safe. Joburg chaps, first rate, who died but was not born.
No, szpitale na koniec XIX wieku co do zasady były przygnębiające.
That's too obscure. What's safe? My brain isn't everything it might be, Mycroft. Nor is yours, it seems.
Dobra. Pokaż mi to, cośmy podnieśli. Ten... Two keys on a ring, a black leather card case. Okej, czyli to jest nie recepta, ale brakuje mi słowa potwierdzenie, tak jakby te rzeczy były gdzieś przechowywane. Tak, dwa klucze, skórzany, czarny, czarna aktówka, pokwitowanie, o właśnie, z wytłoczeniem MH, czyli brat Minecraft, Holmes, tak, na złoto, okej, i portfel z 16 funtami, i książeczka czekowa, okej. Coś więcej? Więcej? Chyba nie. Może ona coś zaobserwowała?
Can you repeat what my brother has said since you've been on duty?
I'm no eavesdropper. He uses mostly big words, and his language has not been of the highest quality. I brushed more than once.
Okej. Watson, pomóż mi.
Have you made anything of Mycroft's speech, Watson?
No. I wish I'd read Freud's recent work more closely. Or perhaps the neurologists would be more
Cześć,
informative.
arbuzowy. Nie,
He
tylko
can
jakiegoś
talk in
gościa w szpitalu
symbols and
zepnęliśmy w dół
anagrams
schodów
and riddles, but
na
conventional
noszach.
speech seems impossible. Were we not desperate for information, it would be entirely fascinating.
But as we are desperate, it is aggravating. We must be inventive.
Okej.
Mycroft, do you recall Clifford, Ashley, Buckingham, Arlington and Lauderdale?
A clique of intriguers. Are they back? Where?
His incapacity is not permanent. He knows a cabal when he hears it.
Okej.
What is it, Mycroft? What do you have for me? Where do you have it?
Where's the heart? Shush, shush. Here's the secret. Sahara has none. Better than cursing the darkness.
Come again?
I'm so
Swoją drogą jestem ciekaw, co mu dolega. W sensie, okej, dostał w głowę, to powinien, nie wiem, albo być nieprzytomny, albo mieć ból głowy, ale to majaczenie, jestem ciekaw, z czego wynika. Czy dwutlenek węgla ma takie skutki? Okej, to wszystko. Czy ma się zwidy i majaki po dwutlenku
His
węgla?
club's in ruins. He wouldn't risk his office. Home is where the heart is. He must mean he has something at his digs.
I'd rather not get nicked for
Albo,
breaking and entering.
albo faktycznie
I'll
dostaje
hardly be
jakieś
denied
środki
access to my
przeciwbólowe.
own brother's
mocne.
flat.
Do you imagine a senior minister's portal is more easily penetrable than Mrs. Hudson's door?
As always, Watson, you make an excellent point.
Nie, z Watsonem miałeś zagadać.
I'm armed to do battle with
Jak
Matron,
szatan
Doctor.
miota,
I
tak.
trust you will support me.
At your service, Holmes. We shall secure Mycroft's effects or die in the attempt.
When Stevenson wrote that there is nothing like a little judicious levity, he might have added, thank heaven.
Rozumiem, że czasem postaci muszą zmienić pozycję na ekranie względem siebie albo innych NPC-ów, jak rozmawiają ze sobą, bo to jest ważne. Tak jak przed momentem mieliśmy tą scenkę, żeby Watson nie mówił do ściany, kiedy reszta rozmawia z nim. Ale nie podoba mi się to, że jak mówię do Watsona, to musi Sherlock przejść z tej strony łóżka, a jak mówię do tego gościa, to musi przejść z tej strony łóżka. Czasem takie przemieszczanie się postaci tylko po to, żeby zainicjować dialog. Tak, Minecraft wygląda jakby ćwiczył, tak. Dobra, chodźmy do Matrony, może będzie honorować ten kupon.
As a courtesy, Matron, I inform you that we are going inside.
Given your reprehensible behavior, Mr. Holmes, I don't think so.
Were I to inform the director that you left a patient untended for hours and exposed him to a contagious virus, she is sure to take a very dim view of your
Oh,
performance.
snap.
You have been negligent, Matron, and you have violated your own precious hospital policy.
The patient required no special treatment. He was admitted with a minor head injury.
That's as may be, but his fall resulted from his sickness. He is critically ill with a respiratory ailment. Exposure to flu could kill him. Shall we keep your oversight among ourselves?
Yes.
Please
Oh,
be
wow.
more careful in future.
O wow, ale ją skulnął. Dobra, to teraz dajmy to.
Please retrieve my brother's effects, Matron, immediately.
I'll take up your behavior with the director, Mr. Holmes. Your ruse has violated the essence of hospital policy.
Ej, no już miałaś być moją koleżanką. Przecież już cię blackmailnąłem, to nie powinnaś tak pyskować.
Matron, this receipt is in order. Spare me the lecture and produce the effects.
I note that age has not improved your intractable character.
Allegations of theft or misappropriation would not serve the hospital. I'll sign for the keyring. You may keep the wallet and other items.
A, czyli co, jeszcze sugeruję, że Matrona podkrada kasę z portfeli? Czy ktoś pomoże temu gruźlikowi? Jest, poszedł w końcu. Koniec świata. Dobra. Nawet czekał 6 godzin na przyjęcie. Okej, jeden jest do teczki, ten klucz, a drugi jest do drzwi. Pewno do jego mieszkania, co? Zobaczymy, czy się mieszkanie brata Minecrafta pojawiło na mapie. To the city. To the window. O, całkiem blisko tego klubu dla dżentelmenów mieszka. O, to jest jakiś grubszy cwaniak. Driver, okej. Okej. I co? Uciekł? Okej, czyli po tym, że koła są zimne, poznał, że ta taksówka tutaj, dłuższą chwilę stoi. Okej, kawał chłopa, czyli to jest, dobra. Dziękuję. Czyli to jest ten budynek mieszkalny, tak? Gdzie... No tak, bo tutaj przyjechaliśmy. Okej. Kwiaty z Afryki. No dobra. Coś tu jeszcze jest.
What is your name, if I might ask?
Colleran, sir. Bob Colleran. How may I be of service?
Mr. Mycroft Holmes is my brother, Colleran. I'm sure he wouldn't mind if we waited for him upstairs.
That would be out of order, sir. You are not expected, sir. Unexpected guests are not received by residents.
No tu jest pewien problem.
Colleran, I assure you I can be trusted upstairs. My brother summoned me.
So you say. Have you not heard of Mr. Sherlock Holmes? He is our most famous detective. His cases are the talk of all London. I believe little of what I hear, sir, and nothing of what I read in the press.
I should have identification which should entitle me to some consideration.
Consideration, no. But if you can prove your relationship, perhaps an explanation is owing.
Perhaps a modest inducement of a monetary type would open the door.
Rides are not in my line. Now clear off before I get testy.
You are some sort of government official, I take it?
In a manner of speaking, sir. I'll appreciate no more questions along those lines. Let's just say I'm charged with the welfare of the residents here and their possessions.
Czy mamy coś, klucze? Może same klucze?
Very interesting.
Snuffbox, handle, latarnia.
A card doesn't confirm identity, sir. It proves nothing except you've taken the trouble to have one made up.
Słuszna uwaga.
I don't recognize the character at the door. Be circumspect.
I'll follow your lead, Holmes.
There is something particular about that driver, Watson.
You carry suspicion to excess, Holmes. He looks ordinary enough, though his tailor is a good bit more skillful than mine.
Unless I'm mistaken, he has a pistol in his pants.
There are brigands everywhere these days.
But not on Pall Mall, Doctor. Look him over, please. His posture is familiar.
Okej, czyli Watson poszedł szukać tego kierowcy tego teraz, tak? O, idą.
Could we go in now, Colleran?
O, wow.
How did you come by the keys? Your welfare depends on your answer.
There is no need to manhandle me. Are you a villain?
No. Now make me believe that you aren't.
Watson, coś ty ustalił.
Have you learned anything of significance, Watson?
Perhaps. The driver resembles one of Lestrade's lackeys from years ago, party named Tallboy.
That's right. I remember him now.
Tallboy, okej. To mi w czymś pomaga.
Do you know my brother was injured in the Diogenes explosion?
You've got my attention.
We took him to Bart's. I got his keys from there. I'm not at liberty to say more.
If you don't, you may be without liberty, period. That sounded distinctly like a threat.
As you like.
My brother summoned me, Colleran, but the explosion struck him down before we met. I'm trying to discover the reason for his rare summons. He is currently unable to speak cogently.
A more straightforward approach might have served you better. I'm still not certain who you are.
No bez przesady. No, o, przyszedł driver. Handsome man. Handsome devil.
Constable Tallboy, isn't it? Could I have a moment of your time?
Yes, Mr. Holmes, though I'm no longer with the force.
Would you be so kind as to vouch for my bona fides to Mr. Colleran?
I wouldn't mind. These two is all right, Colleran. It's Mr. Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson. Done more than one good turn for me when I was with the CID.
Thank you, Tallboy.
Thank you, tall boy.
Still at your appointed post, Tallboy?
Now and always, Mr. Holmes. It's good work, but not much of it. My clients prefer to walk.
Watson, co ty na to?
Suggestions, Watson?
I wish I had one, Holmes. I'm sorry. The brilliance of Pall Mall makes me feel duller than usual.
Please ensure we are not disturbed while we are upstairs, Colleran.
Depend on it, Mr. Holmes.
O, inna rozmowa. Jak miło. I jeszcze drzwi otworzył. Jaki przyjemny człowiek. Co my tu mamy? Mamy obraz. A z obrazem mamy save. Ok. Ciekawe. Magazine rack. Magazine rack to jest coś, co czasem jeszcze jak oglądam katalogi z meblami, to czasem widzę, są jeszcze takie pojemniki na magazyny do zostawiania w salonie. Ja mam wrażenie, że magazyny same z siebie już umarły, więc jestem ciekaw, na co komu takie. Okej. No, wygodnie. Pictures, okej. O, Bible. Okej, Minecraft czyta psalmy.
The place that has known him will know him no more. Oh, Watson, the psalm is too apt.
Think no more of it, Holmes. Mycroft will recover, I'm sure.
Na pewno. Okej, czyli butelki tylko na pokaz. Minecraft nie pije w domu. Aha, czyli bez względu na to, na które wskażę, to jest zawsze... Okej, dobra. Czy ten pokój się przesuwa? Nie, chyba nie. Ten save mnie zastanawia. O kurwa, właśnie sobie uświadomiłem, że to jest save. A, otwarty. Nice. A child with a basic command of numbers could open it. Aha. Nothing. Można przesunąć, ale nic tu nie ma. A co to są za drzwi? Czy to są drzwi wyjściowe? Tak. Nie, to jeszcze...
Pleased to have seen you, Mr. Holmes. My best to your brother.
Co? Tu coś było? No, człowiek teraz odkrył po 3 godzinach gry, że jak się kliknie lewym, to nie trzeba robić prawym i luk. Pod lewym jest domyślnie luk.
Can you deduce a man's character from his furnishings, Watson?
Domestic fixtures cannot define a complex personality, but certain traits may be inferred from them. Mycroft appears fastidious, intellectually rigorous, and intensely private.
You never disappoint. Add willful, secretive, and lethargic to that list, and you have a serviceable thumbnail sketch.
To Watson też się zaraził chyba.
This room has exhausted my imagination. Shall we move on?
As you wish, Holmes. But from what I know of your brother, I would counsel patience.
Faultless advice, but that commodity is currently in short supply.
Okej, znaczy Watson też sugeruje, że jest jakiś inny pokój. O, jest, bedroom. No okej. Czasem zapominam, bo jednak granie na emulatorach takich jak Scambi albo granie w oknie czasem stwarza problem, którego nie było, kiedy te gry działały w DOSie na pełnym ekranie. Można było śmiało przejechać do krawędzi ekranu. Tutaj jak przejdę na krawędzi ekranu, to po prostu wyjeżdżam poza to okno i łatwo to przeoczyć wtedy.
How do you find my brother's taste in art, Watson?
Very refined. Decisive proof that the family are not all Philistines.
Oh, you're becoming too skilled at setting barbs in my artistic judgment.
It's not difficult to hit such a large target. Come now, Holmes. A man excellent in so many things must accept exaggerated notice of his sole, self-admitted deficiency.
Assume Mycroft has written something for my eyes only. Where might he conceal it?
An office diary. Letters at his club.
Too public, too little control, insufficient access.
Here then, in a portable notebook or journal.
A fair guess, were he not pathologically thrifty and compulsively secretive. To him a common notebook would be an extravagance. Were he so inclined, he could write a novella in his minuscule hand in cipher on an envelope, preferably used.
Okej, no dobra, chodźmy do tej sypialni w takim razie. Ten jak se usiadł od razu. Okej, aktówka. Okej, handkerchief. Wzięliśmy to handkerchief. Handkerchief. Nie wzięliśmy tej handkerchief. Okej. Co to?
This is promising. Mycroft has devised a message for me.
Indeed, but what does it say?
What it says is obvious, Doctor. The question is, what does it mean?
What does it mean? Fajnie można... Okej, on tu coś kombinował.
Were we anywhere else, colorless ink might surprise me.
O, czyli pisał niewidzialnym tuszem, tak? Mhm. Starczy, okej.
If you require refreshment, Holmes, let us retreat to 221B. Mrs. Hudson can prepare something more suitable.
I'm nourishing my brain, Watson, not my stomach. I believe Mycroft has been experimenting with rice water.
Okej, czyli faktycznie niewidoczna. Atrament niewidoczny, okej.
Can you deduce a man's character from his...
Well,
You never did... Give me your impressions, please.
a charming room, but nothing obvious or suggestive for the matter at hand.
Presuming we know what that is, remember this. Mycroft is a cautious man and immoderately clever at times. His character will guide us. The dispatch case was virtually empty. Not surprising.
Has the flat been robbed?
Watson, please restrain your imagination. Have you seen signs of burglary? Mycroft rarely uses the case, considers it a provocation. Anything that invites public notice is anathema to him.
Sprytne.
The precautions Mycroft has taken are suggestive, are they not?
If I completely understood what you were referring to, I'm sure I would agree, Holmes. As it is, I might have to take a headache powder.
Mycroft has overexercised his ingenuity to my detriment.
Now you are talking in riddles. It's a most exasperating family trait.
Persevere, Doctor. We know how he concealed his thoughts. We shall have to find the what and why of it elsewhere.
Oh, you will certainly drive me to distraction if you continue to talk in that elliptical fashion.
O, jak chcę porozmawiać, to też wystarczy kliknąć lewym i
I'm
automatyczna
faltering,
rozmowa.
wasting precious time.
Fajnie się
Perhaps
dowiedzieć po 3
Mycroft is now
godzinach.
more lucid.
Whatever you say,
funkcjonalnościach.
Holmes. Bart's is not too far away. I am not hopeful.
Okej, to jest wszystko. Czy wystarczy, że podpalimy tą kartkę, czy musimy to zrobić w biurze na przykład? Zebraliśmy? Table, money. Nie mamy tej kartki? Przecież... O, jest. Teraz z tego co ja pamiętam, wystarczyło nad ogniem. Zresztą na pewno jak się robiło z mleka, ten tusz, pamiętam, z mleka i z cytryny, to wystarczyło nad ogniem podtrzymać.
I'm at a loss, Watson. Perhaps Mycroft can be more forthcoming.
My expectations are not high on that count, Holmes. You must...
Nie. No effect. Okej, czyli to nie, tak. Patrz to, Watson. Co ty na to myślisz?
Remark, Watson, the writing is a puzzle. BQQMZ, HIJKLMNO, ampersand, BTU.
If you say so. The words need merely to be deciphered and followed then?
Mycroft does not compose it for his amusement. I believe it conceals a set of instructions.
No dobra, to chodźmy, zobaczymy, może to się... Close Valley, o. Takiego sobie chciałem kupić, takiego lokaja, ale to cholerstwo jest strasznie drogie, zwłaszcza jak chcesz ładny, drewniany. No dobra. Wróćmy na Baker Street. Dzięki.
Pleased to have seen you, Mr. Holmes. My best to your brother.
Przepraszam, jak się stąd wydostać? To the city. Scotland Yard, nie. Baker Street, tak. Bigby. No ten taki stojący lokaj, to taki stojący wolno wieszak na ciuchy. Na garnitur, na marynarkę, spodnie,
Any dubious
koszulę.
goings on in the vicinity, Mr. Rigby?
Business has been brisk, Mr. Holmes. The reports of your brother's accident have been devoured by the public, ravenous for morsels of misfortune.
Fools cannot be educated
No właśnie,
or
żeby nie
converted
wieszać ciuchów
journeys.
na krzesło.
They may only be exposed.
Właśnie o to chodzi. Żeby to załatwić odrobinę kulturalniej. Dobra. Fancy wieszak. Dokładnie tak. Zróbmy tutaj save'a. Nie inwentory, a opcje. I pobawmy się tym zestawem małego chemika.
I believe I understand the instructions.
Eee, Spalić? Nie można spalić. Okej, można wlać wodę. Okej, wsadziliśmy to do wody. Ciekawe, czy to zepsuliśmy. Okej. Papierek lakmusowy. No dobra. Okej, teraz się. Czyli trzeba to zrobić tak jak u mundków. W naszej kolejności albo w ogóle.
Note the red tint, Watson. Mycroft used sympathetic ink of cobalt and saltpeter. Water sets up a chemical reaction, and heat causes the writing to reappear. It's pure Poe. The message reads, "See books in Greek."
Okej. A co z tymi bums higimyk BTU? Co z tym kodem? Może potem. See books in Greek. To okej, to ale to z jego biblioteczki pewno. Czyli ukrył gdzieś w tych, ukrył
It's
gdzieś w
time
swojej,
we made a
w swojej
move, Watson.
bibliotece
Carry on, Holmes.
notatkę
I'll
dla,
follow your lead.
dla Sherlocka.
Do you have strength to continue straight away, Watson?
Strength doesn't signify, Holmes. It's the will that counts. I've got a nasty catarrh, and I'm exhausted, but my spirit is undaunted.
Stout fellow. Let's
znaczy-
carry on.
Ta woda była dla mnie zaskoczeniem. Te tusze, którymi ja się bawiłem, jak byłem mały, wystarczył ogień. Ale widać, ten trzeba najpierw było potraktować wodą. Ten fakt, że to wiedziałem, poszło o tyle łatwiej. No a dwa, ta cała mechanika z tym zestawem małego chemika jest taka, że znów, przez to, że nie możesz zrobić tak jak chcesz we własnej kolejności, a kolejności, którą oni zaplanowali, nie ma też możliwości, żeby zrobić źle. Można by to metodą prób i błędów, każdy z tych elementów na siebie klikać i w końcu byśmy do tego doszli.
I'm faltering, Watson, wasting time. Perhaps Mycroft will be more informative.
Whatever you say, Holmes. Bart's is not far. I am not hopeful.
Okej. Okej. Beginning, middle and end. Okej, czyli możemy wszystko przejrzeć. No to jedziemy po kolei.
Of course, the beginning. Genesis. Who died but was not born? Adam. I am a goose.
Hmm. Albo siki. Nie chciałem o tym mówić. Tak, siki też działają jak ten atrament. Okej, co pewnie siki?
Aha! He's done it again. If one puzzle is good, two must be better.
Okej, czyli co, kolejny?
We have what we need, Watson. Let us return to the friendly confines.
A blank piece of paper? Surely you overreach yourself, Holmes. Perhaps you should sit for a moment and collect your wits.
My wits, as you are pleased to call them, have been collecting dust, Doctor. Let us proceed. The currently invisible must be made patent.
Dobra. Tu wracamy na Baker Street. Znowu mały chemik. Dziękuję, uszanowanko.
Pleased to have seen you, Mr. Holmes. My best to your brother.
Fajnie, że zakłada tą podomkę. Nie interesuje mnie newspaper, tylko podejść do tego stołu chemika. Tak.
As I recall, Poe liked Zaff and a diluted mixture of aqua regia for sympathetic ink.
True. A green tint would prove it. But I don't believe Mycroft used an acid. It might be simple rice water.
How can you prove it?
The proper vapor should provide us with an answer.
Zacznijmy od wody. Wszystko zaczyna się od wody. No i teraz tak. Nie da się. Nie da się. Nie. 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 O, iodine. Okej. Zapalamy. Wow.
Yes, rice
Yes.
water by all means. Here it is, Watson, gradually appearing. I'll read it.
You do that.
Sherlock, you've likely heard all of what follows at the Diogenes. I've prepared a digest as much to assuage my anxiety as for your convenience. May you have better reason to consult it than indulgence of my suspicious nature, or that its source is unavailable for comment. Allow me to re-emphasize the central points. 1. The moment the formula was discovered missing, my committee mounted a confidential inquiry. 2. Without substantive progress, the members inexplicably moved to adjourn. They would have terminated the inquiry altogether had I not intervened. Given their recalcitrance, my hopes are not high that we shall meet again. 3. Items 1 and 2 give rise to 2 questions. Who stole the formula, and why did the committee quash the investigation? I haven't a clue to the answers. Regrettably, my committee members must be considered as prime suspects in both matters. They are Lord Dennis Lawton, Mr. Horace Silverbridge, Sir Avery Fanshawe, and Mr. Philip Bledsoe. After initially promoting an investigation, they suddenly claimed that no theft had been proven, and that no vital information had been compromised. This is false. In unfriendly hands, this formula could have catastrophic consequences. Presuming the members are not traitors, idiots, or dupes, are they being coerced to make this patently ridiculous and dangerous claim? If so, by whom, and to what purpose? With respect to the theft, do not neglect ministry clerks, Thomas Pratt and Eldridge Whitney, and a feisty but engaging char named Agnes Ratchet. All 7 have sufficient means and opportunity to remove the document from its restricted room. You must discreetly discover the motive for the theft. I remind you that you have no official standing, and I must insist on complete confidentiality. For the moment, even the ministry must be off limits. Personnel should remain ignorant of your purpose, you may use no police resources, and you have no obvious leverage with the committee. Your inquiry must be organized by my suspicions and your own observations and deductions. I trust they will be sufficient. You've often found my suspicious nature amusing and my penchant for clandestine measures absurd. So they may be, but as my current misgivings have devastating implications, I've taken these precautions in the event they may be well-founded. Mycroft. P.S.
Mycroft.
Did I mention that Dewar is securely hidden in Bermondsey, typically oblivious? At last, Watson, we have material facts. We have relevant knowledge and a structure on which to pin it.
Okej, dobra. Minecraft chciał poinformować Watsona o tych podejrzanych, których wymienił. 7 osób. Ktoś ukradł jakieś dokumenty, które zawierają jakąś formula. Tylko czym ma być ta formula? To może być przepis, co? Może być przepis na rosół, a może być przepis na bombę, tak? Czego dotyczy ta formula? Nie wiem, on pracuje w ministerstwie, więc ma dostęp do jakichś tajnych danych. Tego nie wyłapałem.
This matter is highly confidential, Watson. Are you continuing your journal entries?
Posterity deserves a record of our inquiry, Holmes, even if the current generation must be ignorant of it.
Słusznie. Dla potomnych.
I'm acquainted with none of the suspects. Do you know any of them?
Lawton's is the only familiar name, but I'm not sure why. Perhaps we could discreetly trace them from the ministry.
For now, the ministry is off limits, and police inquiries are, of course, out of the question. This summary will shape our investigation. We must deal with Mycroft's suspicions without the assistance of other agencies.
Okej.
Kelly's might locate some of the suspects. Have you seen it?
Invaluable volume. It's around here somewhere, perhaps on the tea table. A team of archaeologists and a minor excavation might unearth it.
Mycroft's behavior is emblematic of 2 poles of his character. He is perspicacious and lazy.
What do you mean, Holmes?
He was perceptive and rigorous to the point where his analysis would have required physical effort. He suspected danger and took precautions. He prepared an encoded briefing. He called for assistance, but now he lies in hospital because he miscalculated the danger to himself, and that he did because it would have inconvenienced him to act upon the accurate calculation. Typical.
What of these other precautions? Who is Dewar?
Professor James Dewar is a chemist at the University of London. I suspect he is involved in either the invention or the perfection of the explosives formula Mycroft mentions.
Why hide him in Bermondsey?
The formula is often more by way of signpost for a mixture than an explicit recipe. Mycroft may have reasoned that the inventor of the complex formula was at risk from those who stole the formula.
Should we not check on him?
Indeed we must, but he's not first on my list. Mycroft has already done what he could for Dewar.
Okej.
Mycroft's list of the potential crimes missed it by one.
Yes, I see. He didn't consider someone might try to kill him. Given his other suspicions, the committee members are obvious candidates.
Neglect of the obvious must always be an error, Doctor. While I doubt their direct involvement, the crimes are certainly related. They may feed off one another.
We have a three-headed investigation. Who stole the formula and why? Who terminated the investigation and why? And who tried to kill Mycroft?
For the moment, I won't displace my attempt to find Mycroft's assailant with the other matters. Have we neglected assistance from any quarter, Watson?
I don't believe you've fully exploited your journalistic connection. I know you value his knowledge and connections.
It may be time to pay him another visit.
Tak, to oni się posługują się ładnym językiem. Okej, dobra, zrobiło się nagle gęsto i zdecydowanie bardziej poważnie, ale przy okazji też interesująco. Jestem ciekaw, kto stoi za kradzieżą przepisu na materiały wybuchowe. Ktoś ukręcił łeb śledztwu, no i ktoś postanowił zabić brata Minecrafta. Dobra, czy te wszystkie miejsca się pokażą na mapie? Czy musimy jakiś dziennik prowadzić? Tu nie powinna być mapa jakaś? Sheet of music. Czy po prostu, bo Sherlock wspominał, że te osoby nie są mu znane. A Watson coś mówił o Laytonie? Ciekawe, do tego bedroom można wejść. O, można. No proszę. Laborer's costume, working woman's costume. Okej, on ma różne ma różne kostiumy. Fajne. Dresser lamp. Co z tymi portretami?
I doubt that wretched face has any more to teach. That face may have more to tell.
Okej, nie wiem czemu to służy. Może potem sobie zrobi tak jak w Alanie Wake'u Mind Palace. Może sobie muzyczkę puścić. Pięknie. Staż, okej. Alan Wake jest bardzo dobry, toperzasty. Wczoraj go skończyłem. Bardzo mi się podobał. Aha, czyli to jest jakaś książka telefoniczna, tak? Dobra, czyli mamy.
Let us resume our investigation, Watson.
I'm prepared to follow you anywhere, Holmes.
No ale ja lubiłem pierwszą część. Jedna z moich ulubionych gier. Jedna z lepszych generacji 360. Dobra, to zobaczmy najpierw, co się pojawiło na mapie. Lord Lawton, ok. Daily Telegraph. Thomas Pratt. Silverbridge Residence. No to zacznijmy od Lorda, nie?
How may I help you, gentlemen?
Fetch Lord Lawton.
I am Sherlock Holmes. Might I have a word with Lord Lawton, please?
Might I say, it's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Holmes, and Dr. Watson, I presume. I'll see if his lordship is at home.
Ja powiem ci to perzasty, że mam ochotę wrócić do DLC, do Controla po zagraniu Alana Wake'a. Tam się wszystko łączy najwidoczniej. Okej. Ale kurzu poszło. Co? Coś tu jest w tym albumie? Browse, ok. Aha, czyli na zamek jest zamknięty. Ok. Pojemnik na biżuterię. Czyli klasycznie wszystko trzeba obejrzeć i zaraz coś się wydarzy. Można podsłuchiwać. Nic. Watson, co ty na to? Tak, z oględzin wynika, że raczej jest zaniedbany ten
The
dom.
house is rather gone to seed.
Is it unseemly to wonder at the causes of its decline?
On the contrary, it would be unnatural not to. The details could be quite delicious. The decline appears to have been precipitous.
There may have been tragedy or financial misadventure. It would be indecent to speculate.
Rubbish. Few human activities are so banal as to be undeserving of healthy curiosity. Reversal of fortune is by definition interesting.
Reversal of fortune is fajne.
Is there any expression more infuriating and idiotic than that one?
What are you rattling about, Holmes?
At home, that's what. Ridiculous locution. He either tells us that Lawton's at home, which we already know, or claims that Lawton is not at home, which is demonstrably false. The whole business makes a liar of him,
Słusznie.
and fools of us.
Calm yourself. It's merely a social convention.
Well, it's daft, and more inconvenient than most of those ridiculous relics. If the man won't see us in, what's wrong with plain English?
Zgoda.
Would you describe me as a tactful person, Watson?
That is not the first adjective that springs to mind, though you might learn tact. Dame Experience is the best teacher, though we often suffer by her tutelage.
You've remarked, I imagine, that Jenkins is devoted to billiards.
Indeed, the quantity of chalk dust on his waistcoat bespeaks a pathological compulsion more than a relaxing diversion.
I wonder if I might somehow use his devotion to the game.
No dobra, on przyjdzie tutaj, ten czy... Dźwięk jak w Rezydencie. Dobra, oni nas chyba olali, Watson. Sherlock ma rację, co to za... Lokaj sprawdzi, czy pan jest w domu. No chyba kurna wie, czy jest w domu, czy go nie ma, nie? Oni nas, mówię wam, oni nas wystawili. Do szpilkolotu, Watson. O!
Lord Lawton regrets that he is not at home. You may leave your card if you wish.
Lord Lawton niestety ubolewa nad tym, że nie ma go w domu. No co za...
You've been having a good run at the table?
Decent. I'm playing defensively. Left his lordship without much to shoot at. He'd never win a game if I knew the diamond system.
Please inform Lord Lawton that this is not a social call. We have critical business to discuss with him.
Very well, Mr. Holmes. That may make a difference to him.
Okej. Znowu ta sama historia pewno.
No, my lord, I will not. Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson, my lord.
My position requires further reflection. Billiards is fascinating, don't you think?
No, Watsonowi zimno. Okej.
At my brother's request, I am looking into the disappearance of the formula from the ministry.
And as a courtesy to your brother, I interrupt my leisure to receive you, but you abuse civility. The committee eventually judged that so-called disappearance to be unworthy of our attention. Evidently not dissuaded by our good sense, you come here to waste my time.
I could understand it after investigation and due deliberation you had concluded that nothing untoward had occurred, but such was not the case. Why was the inquiry so precipitously and inconclusively terminated?
I won't be cross-questioned by you, Mr. Holmes, on this or any other subject.
Od razu widać, że Lord 1%.
Are you aware that Mycroft has been injured in an explosion?
I'm sorry, but that's hardly my affair.
I think an attempt was made on his life. The blast was related to the disappearance of the formula.
It's the nature of your business to think so, isn't it? Conspiracy theories are mother's milk to the consulting detective.
Are you purposely offensive or merely obdurate?
It is not my intention to be either. But if I am, it does not concern me. You have no position, no standing, and no authority.
O wow. O wow. Okej. Ha! To tylko atrapy.
Do you recall that gouty old fellow from Hampshire, Watson? Kept gerbils?
I do, Holmes. His affliction was so advanced, we swore he could chalk his billiard cue with his knuckles.
Very economical, I suppose.
Fajnie, że zawsze mają coś, co
We
do
know Lawton
powiedzenia.
doesn't want to talk. We don't know why.
An accurate, though not particularly helpful observation.
Has the subject closed his mouth? He may be more forthcoming on less volatile topics.
Besides which fork to use with the fish course?
A touch, Watson. A distinct touch, for all his information may be worth.
Nie, nic więcej. Popsujemy mu grę? A. No to chyba wszystko, co? Dobra. Najwyżej wrócimy do tego gościa, ale jest wyjątkowy nerwujący. Mam nadzieję, że to on zabił, on zlecił i on ukrył, bo już go nie lubię.
Why have some of the furnishings been allowed to deteriorate?
Want of money, of course. The present lord's personal habits have impoverished us and ruined our reputation.
I'm sorry, Jenkins. It must be a sore trial for you.
Czyli Lord pewno wydaje na hazard. Tam wspominali, że gra w bile, w sensie w bilard. No dobra, spadamy stąd. Nie podoba mi się u was. No, najpierw zrobimy save. Nie podoba mi się, jesteście chamstwi i macie brudno. Idziemy stąd. Kogo my tu jeszcze mamy? Minecraft, to jest ten Lord, to jest Daily Telegraph, Thomas. O, jak to ładnie.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, Mrs. Mason. Is Mr. Pratt available?
No, he's not, more's the pity. Out entirely too often. Probably carousing with undesirables. Mr. Mason always said, and he knew.
Our business is rather urgent, madam. When will he return?
For all he confides in me, I might be the char.
Has Pratt had any recent callers?
I'm hardly his keeper, Mr. Holmes. But since you ask, no. And no surprise either. Moody as he is.
Have you had any recent word of Pratt, Mrs. Mason?
Not a syllable. No doubt he's idling somewhere in the devil's grasp, abusing mind and body with strong drink and who knows what else.
Pratt to jest ten, który Mycroft pisał, że jest ukryty? Że gdzieś zginął albo zamknięty? W sensie zginął, w sensie rozumieniu zaginął. Czy to był Dawes? Pratt albo Dawes, nie pamiętam. Dobra, co ona tutaj ma? Pillow, saddle. Ciekawe rzeczy tutaj ma. Hatpin to jest przypinka?
Anything worthy of our immediate attention, Doctor?
This woman is passing strange. What is she doing here?
She's nosy, I suspect, and lonely. But I'm sure she believes she's protecting her investment, completely within her rights as a landlady.
She has peculiar ideas of a cleaning costume. Proof that beauty is vain.
Proverbial wisdom has it that one can be cured of every folly but vanity. We may have cause to test the truth of that pearl.
Jeszcze raz.
May we examine the premises?
I thought you had a look of prospective tenants. These rooms are entirely reasonable and well maintained. Rather like myself.
Mr. Pratt is giving up the flat?
He's in arrears. I'm thinking of eviction.
Might we see the other room?
That would be highly improper, Mr. Holmes. Mr. Pratt doesn't even like me in there. He may be irresponsible, but he has some claim to privacy.
Taka landlady to skarb.
The room lacks traditional amenities, and the decor is rather eccentric, wouldn't you say?
Indeed. And he was civil servant. Oh, but he was born in India, you see. Quite bohemian. Raised like a gypsy.
I fail to grasp the connection between bad taste and gypsies.
Never had a proper English family. No one to show him the right way. Artisans and habits. Careless in dress. Housekeeping not above reproach. If I didn't tidy occasionally, his room would be a sty.
Ah, yes, I understand that type of remark all too well.
No dobra. Czy jego nie ma? Wszystko?
Suggestions, Watson?
Perhaps Professor Dewar deserves more of our attention. He at least is likely to receive us.
You may be right, but Bermondsey is a very large area, and as I mentioned, Mycroft presumably did what could be done for him.
It may be well to ask, given his own experience, how well he did it.
Okej, czyli Dewar to jest ten, który się ukrywa, w sensie którego on ukrył, Minecraft. Dobra, jak się stąd wychodzi? A, tutaj są drzwi. Dobra.
May I leave my card with you?
I'm not his personal secretary, Mr. Holmes.
Nor did I presume it. Perhaps you could send a note to 221B Baker Street when he returns.
I suppose I might. I'll tell him
Czyli
you
to
were
zależy
here.
pewno
I would be
od progresu
grateful for
w
your
grze,
trouble.
kiedy ten koleś się pojawi. Okej. Dobra, ten Dewar. To jest jakiś profesor, nie? Nie ma go. Nie ma go na mapie. Jak skoro profesor... Nie wiem czego on jest profesorem, ale może go znają w szpitalu?
Matron, we are going to the new ward.
Fine, Mr. Holmes. Disregard hospital policy. Ignore my authority. Have your savage and lawless ways with us.
If that's your idea of being accommodating, your manner could stand improvement.
Albo Minecraft będzie pamiętał, gdzie go stasznął. No to jasne, to chyba nawet bardziej logiczne.
I'm at a loss, Mycroft. I've found the fool's cap, but I can't penetrate the puzzle.
Douse it. Toast it. Don't eat it. Sahara has none. It's better than cursing in the darkness.
Wet and warm, is it? I should have known. True to your idol Poe. Mycroft, what about Professor Dewar?
Why did Cain kill his brother?
Yes, I know he's Professor Abel's colleague. I meant, where is Dewar now? Is he in danger?
No, sir. Yes, sir. 3 bags full, sir. Where was the boy? The man who
Wciąż
made
miota.
it did not want it. The man who bought it did not use it. The man who used it did not know it. What's it? The 9th prime.
Enough of riddles, Mycroft. Speak plainly.
So very difficult to find really decent fish and chips. I'm Buffalo chips are used for fuel in the American West, west of Chelsea, all mothers.
I apologize,
fuck?
brother. I was frustrated. I've got the pieces now.
Tak, już wiesz. A, tego gościa już nie ma, albo się nie załadował, a Watson wciąż go podziwia jako pacjenta. Watson, czy ty coś rozumiesz z tego bełkotu Minecrafta?
He has a remarkable mind, Watson. I know where Dewey is.
Well, if you tell me, we'll both know.
In the child's rhyme, the boy lived in the lane. The answer to the riddle is certainly a coffin, and the 9th prime is 19. Dewey's at 19 Coffin Lane. That's over the river at Bermondsey. We can go if you're ready.
Am I ready? Of course I'm ready. Was born ready. Czyli powinniśmy mieć jakąś nową lokację. Dziękuję, Matrono. Jak się stąd wychodzi? Jest. No to jest lab, nie ma co. Zaraz Maria Curie tu się gdzieś pojawi. Co ty tu robisz? Jest tak zimne, że pingwin mógłby tu uwić gniazdo, okej. Co to jest w środku?
Do you recognize this document, Professor? It was in the stove.
No. Deuced strange storage place, but it's safer than most. I never light a fire. Mycroft must have put it there. Put it back, won't you? That won't do, Mr. Holmes. Put it back, please. It'll save me a lot of work.
Nie możemy tego wziąć? No dobra. No.
I permit no one to interfere with my experiments, Mr. Holmes. Please don't mess about.
Beg your pardon, Professor.
Slightly alarming collection of flasks, tubes, retorts, pipettes. Okej. Okej, tak.
Professor Dewar, I am Sherlock Holmes. Mycroft is my brother.
I perceive a resemblance. What do you want?
Dr. Watson and I hope that you might help us with an inquiry.
I've heard of you, sir. We can talk while I work. I'm in the middle of something rather delicate, so you might choose your spot carefully.
Ładny akcent.
Have you recently received any unwanted visitors?
None but yourselves. I'm accustomed to working without interruption.
Does your family know where you are?
I'm a bachelor, Mr. Holmes. My whereabouts are my own affair.
How do you come to be here?
Your brother insisted, said the new formula had gone missing and that he wanted me out of the way until it was recovered. Most pleased to find this place decently equipped with research apparatus.
Mycroft has been injured in an explosion, Professor.
Nothing to do with my work, is it?
His club blew up. The police claim it was an accident, but we believe a bomb was purposefully set, that Mycroft was the target, and that the act was related to the theft of your formula.
Your hypothesis is based on sound data?
It is. And had he been as concerned for his own safety as he was for yours, we might not be speaking. Professor, what is the subject of your formula?
While Abel and I were working with the ballistite, that's Nobel's latest, we refined an extraordinarily powerful explosive. It's more versatile and less volatile than nitroglycerine. The strategic implications were obvious.
So you registered the components in compliance with the Foreign Office's Byzantine requirements?
I've made some further modifications that will affect bomb design and detonation velocity, but by and large the formula stands as written.
Is that a copy of your formula, Professor? It appears to have your mark on it.
If it does, it's mine.
Where is Professor Abel?
He's lecturing in America, preaching to the converted
Okej, to
or
z niego-
laying
jego nie-
pearls
jego nie
before
przesłuchamy.
swine, depending on your prejudices. His family's with him.
Can the cause of an explosion be easily determined from its consequences?
Rarely, but with application and the proper research tools, one can often discover the cause from the type of fire, the
Czy
nature
myśmy
of the
czegoś nie
physical
zabrali z
damage and
tego
the
miejsca
organic consequences.
wybuchu? Może on by
Dr. Watson
potwierdził.
discovered some fulminated
tym
mercury,
laboratorium, że
but
to
we
jest-
exhausted the supply in our
Że
experiments.
to
If the
ładunek
explosion
wedle
was
jego
initiated by a bomb, there is
przepisu.
likely to be more
wybuchu w
evidence of
klubie.
the fact, a timing or detonation device, chemical burns or some such.
Professor, could you
właśnie.
analyze this spring? I have reason to believe that...
Enough, Mr. Holmes. I see what it is. You suspect it has material importance to the detonation of your bomb. Don't bias the inquiry further. I must form my own conclusions.
Prawdziwy naukowiec. Proszę,
Excellent.
proszę
Very
nie
sound
wpływać
practice.
How can
na
I
mnie.
reach you?
Send a
na wynik
note to
badań.
221B Baker Street when you have the results. Could you replicate the formula from memory?
Though with great difficulty, perhaps. The formula describes a complex and unique mixture of chemical compounds.
Presumably, the acquisition and manufacture of such materials would exceed the means and expertise of all but a handful of state agencies.
I take your point. No one could build a bomb in the basement with it. Mycroft wasn't felled by my work.
Do you have a copy of the formula?
Oh, Mycroft said something about keeping a copy, but I'm afraid I couldn't lay my hands on it at the moment.
No offence, Professor, but I've rarely whiffed such a rank odour.
No offence taken. One man's perfume is another's off. The smells do have their uses. I believe the neighbours think I'm experimenting with new mixtures of fertiliser.
Contrary to the old saw, ignorance is never bliss, but it may serve a purpose.
W każdym amerykańskim filmie, jak ktoś robi bombę, to potrzebuje ten fertilizer. To by się zgadzało. No dobra, czyli co? To jest wszystko. Czyli tego znaleźliśmy, co go tutaj ukrył.
Do you
Minecraft.
recognize that penetrating mix of pungent odours, Watson?
Rotten eggs, manure and household cleaner, I should think. Disgusting.
Descriptively apt, but highly unscientific, Doctor. Ammonium sulfate and certain nitrates are nearer the mark.
Perhaps, but my advice is take shallow breaths or you'll pass out.
Watson jak zwykle. On point. Dobra, jak się stąd wychodzi? Halo? Halo, jak jeden mógłby stąd wyjść? Chemicals, okay, lab products. A, do góry. Jest niekonsekwentna ta gra, jeżeli chodzi o krawędzie. Dobra, kogo my tu jeszcze mamy? Silverbridge Residence, niech będzie. O, kolejny. O, dziecko w domu.
May I have a word with Mr. Silverbridge?
Without prejudice to your religious affiliation, Mr. Holmes, might he have your Christian name?
Holmes will suffice.
If you say so, sir. Please wait here.
Okej, następny, który zniknął. No, szczudła, tu jakieś dziecko. Na pewno.
You're still here? I thought you might have tired of the wait.
Okej, on chyba kliknąłem użycie szczudeł w tym momencie, kiedy on wszedł i był dźwięk szczudeł, ale teraz szczudła zniknęły. Mam nadzieję, że nie będą do czegoś potrzebne potem, bo chyba właśnie zepsuliśmy grę, ale spróbujmy.
What is the problem, Hepplethwaite? Won't he see us?
As it happens, Mr. Silverbridge is indisposed and cannot be disturbed.
You gave him my name?
I did, and he does not know you. Mycroft Holmes, yes, but you, sir, he neither knows nor wishes to include in his acquaintance at present. May I show you to the door?
I can be reached at 221B Baker Street. Please tell him that I am available at his earliest convenience.
Watson, czy wiesz, jak oni nas potraktowali? Also, gdzie są szczudła?
You find the woman in the painting beautiful, Watson?
Very lovely. I'm smitten.
Control yourself. Note the wedding ring. Mrs. Silverbridge, I shouldn't wonder.
One may admire without wishing to possess.
Your pardon, Doctor. It appears a child has been given the run of the house. Where is the lad?
At school, I should think. Or perhaps Silverbridge himself is of a juvenile turn of mind.
The puerile MP? They certainly act like children sometimes, but I doubt that explanation will serve in this instance.
MP? Od czego to jest skrót? To musi być jakaś funkcja. Minister Prime, no gdyby było PM, to bym też się domyślał, że chodzi o Prime Ministera, ale... Member of Parliament, okej, dobra, to by się zgadzało. Zgadzałby się ten przytyk. Member of Parliament, tak. Master Pocketeer, tak, na pewno.
The possessions suggest an active lad. Would you not agree, Watson?
My child's mind envies the bounty. Still, he seems a housebound boy, and that can't be all good.
Gdzie jest dziecko? Gdzie są szczudła?
Silverbridge has read the newspapers, I presume.
We have. His sympathies to you. The master anticipates a complete recovery for Chairman Holmes.
That's most reassuring. Where is the child whose toys litter the room?
Master Virgil's habits can be of no concern to you. If that's all, you may leave.
Przejmy gość.
Talk of the boy seems to have struck a nerve.
His demeanour changed. But is the alteration significant? He might simply be one of those suffocatingly protective family retainers.
Perhaps, but I think I saw more than duty in his eyes.
Okej. No dobra, nie chcą nas tutaj. Dobra, proponuję tutaj zrobić przerwę. Ale zanim zrobimy przerwę, zameldujemy się na Baker Street. W sensie wrócimy do domu. Zrobimy sobie save'a w naszym gabinecie. Musimy oczywiście przebrać. Trochę to wycinanie tak trochę nie wyszło. O! A co to?
Come in, Mrs. Hudson. It's from the yard, Watson. Listen. A body pulled from the Thames at the Needle is not the usual type. Conventional identification impossible. Ticket stubs from the Whitehall line suggest a civil servant. As you aren't currently engaged, you might find it diverting. I would welcome your assistance. Respectfully, G. Lestrade.
Ten wampir.
Very civil of him.
Okay.
He wants your help.
Well, we won't throw it away. Keep it for a rainy day, but I have other fish to fry.
Co ty na to, Watson?
Silverbridge, Pratt and Lord Lawton are listed in
Wampir
Kelly's.
Lestrade, tak.
We'll have to find the others by more inventive means.
Did Mycroft hold specific suspicions of any one of the 7, do you suppose?
Hard to say, but conspiracy
Wampir
implies
jest lepiej
multiple
to poza
suspects.
tych.
Recommendations, Watson?
Nothing material, Holmes, I'm sorry. Despite your best efforts, I've understood little of what I've seen or heard.
But you have an inclination, surely.
You might assert more of your own presence in the investigation. Yours is the finest mind for detection in the world. I don't believe you have fully exploited the leads that you have taken such pains to develop.
That a corpse has eclipsed the imagination of Scotland Yard is hardly remarkable.
Have you deduced the cause of death? Was it murder, misadventure, or natural causes?
Suicide, I shouldn't wonder. The body is obviously unrecognizable, perhaps from being submerged for a time.
Might we solve the mystery for him?
Lestrade evidently thinks so. On the other hand, he may simply be trying to occupy me. His idea of kindness.
A kind thought must count for something.
You have a more generous disposition than I, Watson. What does your intuition tell you about our next move?
Nothing. But cold reason suggests we should investigate Lestrade's nameless corpse.
What makes you say so?
Prudence. Lestrade is holding out an olive branch. Take it. He wants no animosity between you. Besides, he could compromise the confidentiality of our inquiries were he to get wind of them. He will be less interested in what you are doing if he thinks you are occupied on his behalf.
Your reasoning is sound, Watson, but I don't think I'm available to its inducements.
Wątpię, żeby to była gra wtedy też coś takiego jak koncepcja sidequesta, więc to morderstwo musi być w jakiś sposób powiązane z tym głównym wątkiem. Jeżeli nie, to będę pod wrażeniem.
My lack of progress is obvious, Watson. Do you have a recommendation?
Lestrade's nameless corpse still needs investigating.
Ah, that. But I would prefer not to be distracted at present. Do you have a compelling reason?
Seeking information from people who won't talk and, at present, can't be coerced to do so. It's frustrating, debilitating and discouraging. We've had enough of that.
My previous behavior notwithstanding, I'm not a child. I can handle adversity, Watson. Failure, of course, is not an option.
Excuse me, Holmes. I meant to imply nothing beyond our need for a taste of success. Lestrade's often been an unwitting ally to our own purposes. You can deflect unwanted attention from our activities while storing up some goodwill. We may need him later.
As always, Watson, your advice is faultless. The question is, do I have the wit to follow it?
Okej. To też jest fajne, mam wrażenie, że te 3 ostatnie pytania, które mu zadaliśmy, to były pytania z kategorii jestem graczem, zgubiłem się, nie wiem co mam robić dalej, gro pomóż mi, ale to fajnie, że są takie podpowiedzi. No i on sugeruje oczywiście, żeby pomóc z tym morderstwem wampira Lestrada, tak. Więc tak pewno zrobimy i zaczniemy od tego stream w przyszłym tygodniu. A dzisiaj bardzo Wam dziękuję za obecność. Wciąż ta gra pozostaje dla mnie miłym zaskoczeniem. Bałem się, że może być nudna, a ona jest nie dość, że jest fajnie napisana, super zagrana, to jeszcze okazało się, że historia zawiązuje się i robi się naprawdę interesująca w okolicach drugiej godziny gry, co mnie miło cieszy. Mam tylko nadzieję, że rozwiązanie będzie równie satysfakcjonujące i po drodze nie zgubi tego zainteresowania. Rozpiski z nowymi streamami spodziewajcie się proszę jutro, późnym popołudniem. Przyszły tydzień to jest ten również, w którym nagrywamy podcast, więc jeżeli macie nam coś do przekazania, jakieś pytania, to śmiało piszcie, uwzględnimy je w odcinku. Możecie też nadrobić minione streamy z tego tygodnia, bo wszystkie są już na YouTubie. Kuba grał w Robocopa, śmieszny stream, polecam obejrzeć, zostawić lajka, zostawić komentarz, za co serdecznie Wam dziękujemy. Ja się na tą chwilę żegnam i do zobaczenia w przyszłym tygodniu. Trzymajcie się, pa.